vlog. I'm currently walking to Rockville Town Center. Rockville's in Maryland. I have an internship in DC right now. I'm working for Voice of America, which is this news agency. You can look it up online. It's voanews.com. I'm an intern there, but it's unpaid. So I'm currently heading into Rockville to find a job. This should be interesting. I've applied to a bunch of places the last few days, like Panera Bread and Bonchon, and I'm just going in to see what the status is on my application. So stay tuned, and we'll see if I get the job or not. Rockville is a quintessential suburban neighborhood. I mean, look at this. It's just green grass, big houses, Hondas, Toyotas, all that stuff. Perfect little suburban community in Maryland, just outside of DC. Yeah, so I'm really excited to be vlogging right now because I'm a pretty quirky guy. So it's fun to be able to put my quirky personality on YouTube. One of the topics I wanted to discuss today was the fact that stress is a choice. Now, that's very controversial because a lot of people think that, you know, when you're stressed out, of course you don't want to feel that way. Loud truck, we'll see how the audio is. Of course you don't want to feel stressed. So they're like, well, of course I don't want to feel stressed, but I have no choice but to feel stressed. Stress is just a part of me. And to that, I say you really do have a choice, because if you're in a situation that causes you stress, right now, I'm separating stress and anxiety right now because they're not the same thing. Anxiety is something you can have in a disorder, or something you can have inside of yourself that makes you literally worry about like a lot of different things, and that's genetic, whereas stress is environmental. So that's I'm distinguishing those, I'm separating those for this purpose. A lot of people make them synonymous, but they're really not. So yeah, so stress is a choice. You can choose whether a situation really stresses you out or not. Now, there's situations that are hard and that make you feel stress, but you're able to reframe that into a positive, into a less stressful situation. It's like a deadline. This is a good example. In the corporate world, a lot of people have deadlines and they're worried that they won't be able to meet their deadlines. Now, if you think about it as, oh, I'm not gonna meet my deadline, this is terrible, what's gonna happen, I'm gonna get fired, all these things, blah, 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 blah. It's a snowball effect into, you know, not feeling good, and you end up feeling more stressed out. But if you reframe it and say, oh, I may not meet this deadline, but that's okay. I still have a great house, a family. I still have a job. You know, I probably won't lose my job if I mess up this one deadline. Let's be realistic here. Then you'll feel less stressed. And yeah, I'm crossing the street right now. Then you'll feel less stressed, and you'll be able to actually complete the task faster because you don't have any stress. So it's kind of an interesting thing, but you're able to reframe situations to seem less stressful. And it does take some practice and some conscious awareness of when you feel stressed, and then really like looking at the situation you're in that's causing the stress, and thinking about whether it's rational or whether it's irrational. A lot of things that you might think are rational to feel stressed about are totally not. Stress is really a choice, because just to think about the damage that stress can do to your body, it's really important. This is Rockville, guys. Bunch of shops, trees. There's a town center over here on the left that you'll see in a second. Lots of job opportunities. Lots of great opportunities to work hard and make some money. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm approaching Bonchon Chicken. I'm about to hand in my application. I'll tell you how it went when I get out. So quick update, Bonchon was super rude to me. I handed in my application and the dude was like, by the way, don't try and come back here. We're gonna give you a call. I was like, what? No, that's not how it works. If you wanna get a job, you gotta be persistent. I didn't say that back to him, but that's what I was thinking. And so, yeah, like they're like very adamant about you not trying to confront them. You have to actually wait for their call. And that's like really weird. So I'm gonna call them back in a couple of days. I don't care what they say. I'm gonna call them back in a couple of days and be like, hey, where's that job, buddy? Anyway, so then I went and inquired about Five Guys. I love their burgers. They're amazing. Five Guys, please sponsor me if you're watching this. So I only have 4 minutes left of recording, but that went super well. I was just in Gordon Biersch restaurant. They're like a little brewery and restaurant. And dude, the manager was so nice. He was awesome. His name was Steven, really cool guy. And yeah, he said he'll look at my application, he'll pull it out of the pile. So that's really good news. Can't wait to hear back from him. I'll probably hear back from him on Monday or Tuesday. And he got my situation. He's like, oh yeah, if you're in an unpaid internship, you definitely want to make some money. I'm like, yeah, that's right. So he understands where I'm coming from. So that's good. You know, you meet people, and if you just put yourself out there and let them know what you're doing and why you're applying and you know what your goal is, they're going to be more willing to help you. So little lesson of the day there. Yeah, and that's a good takeaway from that interaction, which went very well. This film is going to be an editing nightmare. Anyway, what I mean by stress is a choice it doesn't necessarily mean that you won't feel any stress if you choose not to. It means that you can control the amount of stress you choose to feel. So, for example, if I'm in a situation and it's starting to cause me some stress, I'm able to recognize that and be mindful of it and focus my attention on it and really find out what is causing the stress. And I'm able to decide whether it's rational or irrational. That's the first step to really controlling your stress levels, is deciding whether what you're stressed about is like a life or death thing, or if it's, you know, something that you can reframe to be positive, or something you can reframe to not feel stressed about. So, and you're able to choose how you view certain situations. So if I have a deadline coming up at work and I have 3 days to do something and I know it's going to take me 5 days, I can choose to feel stressed about that. And in fact, a lot of people feel stressed about things because it takes the responsibility off of themselves. They're like, oh my God, this thing is going to prevent me from doing well, instead of me is going to prevent me from doing well. Do you see? And because they take the responsibility off themselves, they feel stressed. They feel like they have no control. And you have full control over everything in your life. So that's one thing that you have to keep in mind.